Hello everyone. Once again, welcome back to another session of community health and social work. We had discussed in our previous video lecture about disease caused by parasite. It means we had discussed about what is parasite, what are the different types of parasites, and also discussed about the causes and symptoms of parasites infection and what are the prevention for avoiding the parasites infection. Because when a person is infected by any type of parasite, because there is different types of parasites, and when a person is suffering from different types of parasites infection, there is different types of symptoms and also there is different causes, and we had already discussed about that in our previous lecture. And now in this lecture we will discuss about some diseases which are related with parasite infection. And first we will discuss about the disease that is malaria, and we will discuss about what is malaria, how the patient or how the person is suffering from malaria disease, what are the causes of malaria disease, and what are the different symptoms through which we can know or we can detect that person is suffering from malaria disease. And also we will discuss about what are the preventions or how we can diagnose a person when a person is suffering from malaria disease or when a person is suffering from any parasite infection. What are the methods of diagnosis and how we can get treatment for avoiding the parasite infection or for prevention of the malaria disease, and what are the complications for a person's life when a person is suffering from malaria disease. We will briefly discuss on that in this lecture. First, we will discuss what is malaria. Malaria is a life-threatening disease and it's typically transmitted through the bite of an infected Anopheles mosquito. Infected mosquitoes carry the Plasmodium parasite. When this mosquito bites you, the parasite is released into your bloodstream. Once the parasites are inside your body, they travel to the liver where they mature. After several days, the mature parasites enter the bloodstream and begin to infect red blood cells. Within 48 to 72 hours, the parasites inside the red blood cells multiply, causing the infected cells to burst open. Malaria is a life-threatening disease, and when a person is suffering from malaria disease, and it is typically transmitted through the bite of mosquito, and that mosquito name is Anopheles mosquito. And when a person is infected through mosquito, and which mosquito is carrying the Plasmodium parasite, and when this mosquito bite a person who is a healthy person, after bites a infected person, it means when a mosquito is biting a person who is already infected by the parasite and which causes the malaria, and after bites a infected person, bites another healthy person, then it causes the infection of that parasite, and also there is the person's has life threatening situation due to the Anopheles mosquito. And when a mosquito is biting a healthy person, after biting a person who is suffering from malaria, that also transmitted from one person to another person. And when that parasite entered into the body and traveled to the liver, at that time the parasite is starting to multiply immediately. And when the parasite is multiplying, after the multiplication of that parasite, the parasite infected to the red blood cell of that person, and when the person's red blood cell is infected by that parasite, in between the 48 to 72 hours, the person is suffering or the person has life threatening situation due to the infection by parasites. And also malaria is a dangerous disease sometimes if we are not curing from the primary stage of that person. The parasites continue to infect red blood cells, resulting in symptoms that occur in cycles that last 2 or 3 days at a time. Malaria is typically found in tropical and subtropical climates where the parasites can live. The World Health Organization or WHO trusted source states that in 2016 there were an estimated 216 million cases of malaria in 91 countries. In the United States, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) report 1700 cases trusted source of malaria annually, and most cases of malaria develop in people who travel to countries where malaria is more common. In some areas, there is the parasites continue to infect the red blood cells, because in some specific areas there is the persons have suffering from the malaria disease, and in some areas there is malaria prone area, and when a person is traveling to that type of area, then that person is also suffering from malaria infection, or that parasite which is infected the person and which causes the malaria disease. And when we are traveling to any area and in which area there is the malaria prone area, then we have to take precaution when we are traveling. Next we will discuss what causes malaria. It means what are the reasons behind the suffering of malaria disease. Malaria can occur if a mosquito infected with the Plasmodium parasite bites you. There are 4 kinds of malaria parasites that can infect humans: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum. P. falciparum or Plasmodium falciparum causes a more severe form of the disease, and those who contract this form of malaria have a higher risk of death. An infected mother can also pass the disease to her baby at birth, and this is known as congenital malaria. Malaria can occur when a person is bitten by mosquito, and malaria can occur by mosquito infected, which mosquito is carrying Plasmodium parasites, and when a person is bitten by that mosquito, then the person is suffering from malaria disease. And there is 4 kinds of malaria parasites which causes the malaria disease, and when a person is infected by Plasmodium falciparum, and it can causes more severe form of the malaria disease, and also sometimes some person have higher risk of death when a person is infected by Plasmodium falciparum, and it can causes death also. And malaria also infected to a baby at the time of birth if the mother is suffering from malaria disease. It means when a mother is infected by that parasite, which parasite causes malaria, and due to lack of medications, the baby also can infected by the malaria disease through the infection of mother, and this is known as congenital malaria. And malaria is transmitted by blood, so it can also be transmitted through some other factors, and sometimes malaria is also transmitted by blood at the time of an organ transplant. If there is we have transplant of any organ, at that time also malaria transmitted by blood. And sometimes a transfusion, when we have blood transfusion due to any accidental case, due to any health issues also, at that time also malaria is transmitted from one person to another person by blood. And last one is use of shared needles or syringe. If we are sharing any syringe or needles, then at that time also a person is suffering from transmission of malaria through blood. And mosquito transmission cycle. What is the cycle of mosquito transmission or malaria infection due to mosquito? Uninfected mosquito. It means a mosquito becomes infected by feeding on a person who has malaria. When a mosquito is biting a infected person, which person is infected by the parasite which causes the malaria disease, and when a mosquito bitten that person, at that time the mosquito is infected, and before that infection that mosquito is uninfected. And when an infected mosquito between a healthy person, that time the healthy person is also infected by the malaria parasite. Transmission of parasite. If this mosquito bites you in the future, it can transmit malaria parasites to you. If an infected mosquito bites a healthy person in future also, there is also transmission of malaria parasites to one person to another person. In the liver, once the parasites enter your body, they travel to your liver, where some types can lie dormant for as long as a year. In the liver, it means when a parasite enters into the human body, and after entering to the body, when the parasite is traveling to your liver, and in liver the parasite can survive that life, and the parasite can be multiplied immediately, and which can causes major health issues or major conditions which is life threatening conditions in malaria disease. Into the bloodstream, when the parasites mature, they leave the liver and infect your red blood cells. This is when people typically develop malaria symptoms. When a parasite is entered into the body and travel to the liver, after traveling to the liver, the parasite can leave the liver, and the parasite can infect the red blood cells of that person. And when a person's red blood cell is infected by that parasite, then the different symptoms of malaria disease can occur at that time, because when a person is suffering from malaria disease, and which can cause any other diseases also, and when a person is seriously infected by parasite, and after some days, after several periods of time, the person has different symptoms through which we can detect that person is suffering from malaria disease. On to the next person. If an uninfected mosquito bites you at this point in the cycle, it will become infected with your malaria parasites and can spread them to the other people it bites. And also, when an infected mosquito bites a healthy person, and it will become infected with your malaria parasite, and it can spread also from one person to another person, or one person to next person. Next, we will discuss about what are the symptoms of malaria. It means through which way we can detect a person is suffering from malaria disease, and through which signs and symptoms we can detect a person is suffering from malaria, and what are the symptoms. The symptoms of malaria typically develop within 10 days to 4 weeks following the infection. When a person is infected by the parasite, and the symptoms of malaria typically developed when a person is infected, after within 10 days to 4 weeks, the person has different symptoms. And what are the symptoms are, in some cases symptoms may not develop for several months, and also in some cases, in some situations, symptoms may not develop in between several months. Some malaria parasites can enter the body but will be dormant for long periods of time. And some malaria parasites also sometimes enter into the body and can infect the liver. After infection of liver, it can infect the red blood cells, and it is a long period of time. Common symptoms of malaria include shaking chills that can range from moderate to severe, and sometimes some symptoms are also can range from moderate to severe situation of the malaria. Next is high fever, profuse sweating, headache. Some persons have high fever or high temperature in body, and some persons have sweating, and due to fever also there is sweating problem and headache also. Nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, anemia, muscle pain, convulsions, coma, and some persons have bloody stools. And these are the symptoms through which we can detect or we can know that person is suffering from any parasite, and which causes the malaria disease. How is malaria diagnosed? If we are detecting a person of any symptom of that symptoms, then how we can diagnose the person is suffering from malaria or any other disease? What are the way? Your doctor will be able to diagnose malaria, and the doctor only able to diagnose the malaria or any other disease is happening in the with this person. During your appointment, your doctor will review your health history, including any recent travel to tropical climates. Mainly in tropical and subtropical areas, these areas are malaria prone area, and during the appointment with doctor, your doctor will review the person is suffering from any health issues or malaria disease. Then the doctor can know, or the doctor can detect or diagnose from the health history or travel history of that person. And a physical exam will also be performed, and also there is the doctor can prescribe some physical exam through which the doctor can diagnose, and your doctor will be able to determine if you have an enlarged spleen or liver. If your liver is not functioning properly, then the doctor will be able to determine if you have malaria infection or not. If you have symptoms of malaria, your doctor may order additional blood test to confirm your diagnosis. And if the doctor is detecting, or if the doctor is knowing from the health history or your traveling history, you have infection, or you have infection of any parasite or malaria parasite, and if there is any symptoms of malaria, then the doctor can order some additional blood test for confirm the diagnosis. And what are the additional tests? This test will show, and through this additional test we can know whether you have malaria, and also we can know what type of malaria you have, because there is different types of parasites which can causes the malaria disease, and also from the test we can know which type of malaria you have, or which type of parasite has infected your body. If your infection is caused by a parasite that's resistant to certain types of drugs also. If you are infected by any parasite, and which parasite is caused for resistant of your certain types of drugs, because due to different types of infection of different parasites, there is different certain or specific type of drug for that, and through diagnosis the doctor can prescribe the proper medications or proper drugs. If the disease has caused anemia, if the malaria, or if the person is suffering from malaria disease due to anemia, or there is reason of malaria is mainly the anemia or problem. If the disease has affected your vital organs also, the doctor can detect, or the doctor can diagnose from the other test your other part or your other vital organs is affected by that disease or not. And through diagnosis the doctor can give, or the doctor can prescribe proper medications or proper drugs for a infected person. And next is life threatening complications of malaria. When a person is suffering from malaria disease, there is different types of life threatening complications. And what are the actually complications? Malaria can cause a number of life threatening complications, and following may occur because when a person is suffering from malaria disease, there is different type of life threatening complications. Swelling of the blood vessels of the brain or cerebral malaria. Sometimes some persons have swelling of the blood vessels of the brain, and an accumulation of fluid in the lungs that causes breathing problems or pulmonary edema. Sometimes due to infection by parasite, some persons have lungs infection, some persons have breathing problems or pulmonary problem, and which can causes some other disease also. Organ failure of the kidneys, liver or spleen. Due to malaria, if the person is not cured from the primary stage, or the person is not getting treatment from the primary stage, sometimes there is life threatening complications like organ failure, kidney problem, liver failure or spleen, and anemia due to the destruction of red blood cells. Also there is another life threatening complication which is anemia when the red blood cell is destroyed. Then low blood sugar. Some persons have low blood sugar, and when a person is suffering from low blood sugar, there is some other disease which are related with low blood sugar, and this is another life threatening complication if a person is suffering from malaria disease. Next is, how is malaria treated, or how we can treat when a person is suffering from malaria disease. Malaria can be a life-threatening condition, especially if you are infected with the parasite or Plasmodium falciparum. Treatment for the disease is typically provided in a hospital. Your doctor will prescribe medications based on the type of parasite that you have. And when malaria can be life-threatening conditions, there is some life-threatening symptoms or complications in malaria disease, and especially if you are infected with the Plasmodium falciparum parasite, then there is treatment is available for preventing that disease, and which treatment is provided in hospital, and your doctor will prescribe proper medications on the type of parasites of infection that you have. In some instances, the medication prescribed may not clear the infection because of parasite resistance to drugs also. In sometimes the doctor can providing or can prescribe medications and which may not clear the infection because of parasite resistance to medications. If this occurs, your doctor may need to use more than one medication or change medication altogether to treat your condition. If the doctor is seeing, or the doctor is detecting that the medications is not working properly, then the doctor can change the medication, or the doctor can provide other medications in or some powerful medications for preventing or for treatment of the malaria infection person. Additionally, certain types of malaria parasites such as Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale have liver stages where the parasite can live in your body for an extended period of time and reactivate at a later date, causing a relapse of the infection. When a person is infected by certain types of malaria parasites like Plasmodium vivax or Plasmodium ovale, and that stays when the parasite is staying or traveling in liver and have liver stages, the parasite can live in your body and for an extended period of time. It means when a parasite is living in liver, at that time the parasite extended the parasite's life, and the parasite can survive or can multiply when the parasite is living in the liver, and that stays when the parasite is Plasmodium vivax or when the parasite is Plasmodium ovale. These parasites are in liver stage, and they can live in the liver and they can multiply immediately and can infect the person, very dangerous situation. If you are found to have one of these types of malaria parasites, you will be given a second medication to prevent a relapse in the future. And if you are found have one of these types of malaria parasites, there is second medications for preventing or for getting treatment for avoiding this malaria infection. And next is prevention. How we can prevent if a person is suffering from malaria disease. If you live in or are traveling to an area where malaria is common, take steps to avoid mosquito bites. If you are live in that type of area, in which area there is malaria prone area, or if you are traveling to any malaria prone area, what are the preventions or what are the steps you have to take, or what are the precautions you have to take, and how you can avoid the mosquito bites. Mosquitoes are most active between dusk and dawn. To protect yourself from mosquito bites, you should follow different factors, and you have to avoid the mosquito bites if you are following these type of factors. What are the factors? First is cover your skin. Wear pants and long sleeved shorts. Tuck in your shirt and tuck pant legs into socks. You have to cover your skin through full pants and full sleeved shorts, and also you have to tuck socks also, through which you can avoid the mosquito bites. Apply repellent to clothing. Sprays containing permethrin are safe to apply to clothing, and you have to applying different repellent through which you can avoid the mosquito bites also. Apply insect repellent to skin. You have to apply different insect repellent in your skin and use an insect repellent registered with the Environmental Protection Agency on any exposed skin. These include repellents that contain DEET, oil of lemon eucalyptus, paramethrin 3, 8-diol or 2-undecanone. Do not use a spray directly on your face, and also you can use this type of repellent through which you can avoid the mosquito bite, and don't use any spray on your face directly, and do not use product with the OLE, means oil of lemon eucalyptus, or PMD, paramethrin 3 or 8-diol on children under age 3. Don't use any insect repellent on the children, those who are under age 3. Sleep under a net. Bed nets, particularly those treated with insecticides such as permethrin, help prevent mosquito bites while you are sleeping. At the time of sleep, you can use bed nets, and through which you can avoid the mosquito bites. This is all about today's lecture. In this class, we had discussed about what is malaria, what are the causes of malaria disease, or through which parasites the person is suffering from, or the person is infected by malaria disease, and what are the different symptoms which are related with malaria disease, what are the life-threatening complications due to malaria disease, and how we can diagnose, or how a doctor can diagnose a person is suffering from malaria disease, what are the treatments, and how we can prevent or how we can avoid the mosquito bites. Keep watching. Thank you. Have a great day.